Hey guys, new video here. Money makings in the early part of this league. Now, Legion overall, I'm gonna make another video about my initial thoughts. It's been a few days. This is, I think, the third 24-hour mark, so the third day of Legion. It's been so fun. In terms of sleep, I have been doing like 14 plus hour streams. Things have been going very well, and I have actually only slept. I just actually woke up after about a 2-hour nap, so now I have slept a total of 4 hours and like 30 minutes, 45 minutes since Friday. Yeah, that's actually how much I've slept. I slept like an hour the first night, an hour and a half the first night, and then right now about 2 hours. Whew, I've just been so excited, and the reason I want to make this video now is because the fusing price and the Chow's orb to exalt, exalt to Chow's orb, exalt to fusing ratio has gotten it has changed quite a bit, going from about like 4 fuse to 1 chows to 3 fuse to 1 chows, and now it's almost down to, at the time of this recording, it is very hard to get like even 2.5 3 fusings to 1 chows, or about 180 something fusings to 1 exalt. So I feel very comfortable making this video because the strategy that I'll be going over, if you watch my stream, I've done this in like 2 or 3 leagues in the past, but before synthesis, it doesn't work as well now unless you already whooped the bases. And so basically there's 2 strategies that I want to go over that are very good, and that is 6 linking early on in like about the first couple weeks in the league, depending on the chests that you're able to get, and then of course crafting. Now crafting, I'm going to focus on crafting helmets in this league. Notably, I'm whooping cyclone helmets. I'm trying to whoop the charged striker, the tectonic slam helmets. I'm trying to whoop the leap slam attack speed helmets as like a very cheap option. This guy's inviting me for no reason. Oh, sorry, he wants to buy my gold mask for 24C, but I can't do that because I make a video. And so what's going to happen is these strategies this is more for a kind of a mid-range player, someone who doesn't really have too much experience. Like maybe they know how to map a little bit, maybe they know the very basics of like whooping a good item, say like a jewel, or maybe like some nice rare for a build that they know very well. But this goes into like, a tiny bit of crafting, a tiny bit of like, I guess it's arbitrage, right? And arbitrage is basically finding discrepancies in either like ratios or the perceived value of things, to make this is kind of a weird term, but free profit in the long run on average. Okay, and so it's getting right into it. Let's talk first about the chests. So if I hover over these are actually extremely cheap chests. Now if you look at them, the thing I want you to know is look at the rolls. Now maybe you're unfamiliar with what the rolls on these chests might be, right? You're like, okay, I know that Carcass Chest is a good item. I know Tinker Skins for trappers. I know Queen of Force is for running boys who wanna just move around a little bit faster off the starting blocks. I know Shavs is for low life builds, spellcaster usually. And I know that Cloak of Defiance is, it's nice for Mind Over Matter, and it is, maybe some niche builds that use this, right? But the thing I want you to know is that usually these are in like at least the 90th percentile or greater. So this one's actually perfect. This one's actually perfect in terms of the life resist, the increased evasion energy is very good, and the area of effect is perfect. Now, the reason that perfect chests are very important early on in the league is because they are not plentiful, right? In 3 days, it's very rare that a chest that is a rare drop. So Queen of Force is actually, I would say, an uncommon drop. It's like, and same with Tinker Skin. Like in a league, I would probably, if I showed Tinker Skin on my filter later on, probably drop like a billion of these, and Queen of Force I drop at least like 20 30 of these at least every league. But Shavs I might only drop 1 or 2, maybe 3 a league. Cloak of Defiance, like usually I only drop like 1, maybe 2. Carcass Jack maybe. I think I actually hide this on my filter later on because it's like becomes 2C or something like that. But like 1C, 2C. So these chests are not like too special, besides I guess like this is actually a tier 1 drop. And so once again, the rolls are hard to come by because people aren't dropping them enough. It's because it's only a couple days into the league, but also because divining them is very risky, even though divines are cheap. Because, for example, if you want to, I'm gonna hit my F key, and my F key is the show item tooltip. So look at the range here. If you were gonna buy, say, some divines off the shop to try to roll something yourself. Let's say you only cared about one roll, right? Let's say you only cared about increased area of effect, right? Because the difference between 40 and 50 AoE could be one radius, very easily one radius on POB if you want to check it there. And so you're like, okay, I'm just gonna divide myself. You know, I just want 50 AoE. Well, that alone on average to get a 50 roll is 1 in 10 divines, right? What was that, 50, 60, 70 C nowadays? So very expensive. And then when you multiply on top to get the other rules that are valuable, for example, resist is very valuable. And then also the life is obviously, you know, life leak after the ES got buffed. This guy just like leaked me a mirror. Wow, crazy. So the rolls like compounded on top of each other become quite ridiculous, right? It actually becomes like near impossible to divine it yourself. So when you think of an average value, you know, you're adding so much divine value and just like personal like feelings of value to it, right? Because in this game there is very much a thing of like buy nice or buy twice, right? I want to give you a common example. Like how many times have you looked at your let's just go into your defensive sheet here and like see right now how I'm not like capped on fire res. I can actually fix that in just a second, but where you're off by a little bit of resist, and because of that you either have to like divine or blessed, or you need to you know, swap out a piece, but by swapping out like maybe one jewelry you gotta get buy another jewelry, and these things take time. They take divines, they take Chalice orbs, they take exalted orbs sometimes to get your things perfect. So by buying people assign a lot more value to a near perfect item. For example, like this Shavs is 150 and 40 would be a perfect roll. People assign a lot of value to a near perfect roll because if that slot is taken care of, they never have to worry about it again. And if they never have to worry about it again, it becomes much faster to like say throw an incubator on there to like upgrade everything else. It's just less of a headache. So that is why the near perfect rolls are so good in terms of the flat value, right? To the point where even if it's not 6 linked, you can command a nice price. And because right now I believe that the exalt to Chalice is like one exalt for 82, 83, maybe it goes between 80 and 83 Chalice orbs. Because that is the rate, then the really good chests sometimes can be I'm gonna say in my anecdotal experience, I've already sold a 6 link Tinker skin, and I think I already sold a Queen of the Forest. So I've been doing this for my stream ended around like I think it was like around like 10 a.m. I spent like the next like 6 hours. Yeah, I think I spent like the next 6 hours just whooping these chests and then trying to link them, right? So I've sold like 2 or 3 of these chest arrays, and I'm gonna keep going, but I'm gonna stop very soon once again because of the fusing rate is getting a little bit out of control. And so what you're gonna think about is if a near perfect roll can add maybe 1 to 2 exalts on top of the price when it's 6 linked, then what can we do? So I know this has been kind of long-winded, but I'm just gonna give you an example here. So if I Control Alt D this, which is the trade macro, you can click on the listings to set your minimum values to search on PoE Trade. There are no 90-15s, right? So the perfect roll here, I guess, if you don't count the evasion or energy shield, which is like the last thing that most people look for. Even, I mean, for me, even the cooldown recovery speed for throwing traps isn't like too important. Just the life roll is like really important. You know, but once again, people attribute the value to the perfect rolls. There aren't any of these. I have the only one, and I have the only 6 link one. And once again, I already sold a 6 link one that was perfect. Because I have the only ones, I can kind of determine the price. Now, there is a 6 link Tinker skin. I believe it's for like 6.8 exalts right now. But I was able to whoop these for extremely cheap. So on stream, I even whooped a few of these, right? And so just to give you an example, this Cloak of Defiance was 10C. It's a 150 mana roll. This Shavs was about 40C, I think, even when so this is a 149, so the difference between the perfect one is 1 ES on this. This was about 50C when the normal rate of them, like the cheapest one, is I think at this point around these rolls like 70-80C if you're lucky. And then of course being after 6 socketing it, it adds even more value, right? 6 socketing on average for a 20% quality is about 240 jewelers if you're gonna add that price on there. And so I'm just trying to show, like, if you whoop these, you can get them for insanely, like, you can get them for dirt cheap. I'm telling you, if you just sit on the whoops, and I'll just show you what I mean here. So let me bring up this browser here. And the thing you need to do is to bookmark these so that you don't have to worry too much. So right now, like for example, actually, I was going to talk about unique SARMers a little bit, but let me just pull up some bookmarks here. So these are my bookmarks for whoops. Okay, so I'm just going to show you 3 of them. I have like a few of them going off right now. But see, you enter the item, and then the way you do a live search is you put in like whatever roles you want. Like this is the that was the Cloak of Defiance. This is the Tinker Skin. This one is what? This is Queen of the Forest, right? Going for the big rolls on the Queen of the Forest that people find valuable. And then you're gonna hit search, right? And you can look at the price. So like you see how like the better rolls, they cost a lot, but you're not gonna pay this. You do not want to pay this because these look 18 hours ago, right? You want to whoop these, and what will happen when you click on live search here, or you can do this on the main website, right? Like whoop, look at that, I just got one. Someone just listed one 3 seconds ago for 95C. You want to buy one for like 5C, right? You want to buy these for like a couple C, to the point where it is a free item. So if you look at the like the 90th percentile rolls, you know, you were looking at 50C before 95C here. If you buy one for like 2 or 3C, you know, you've instantly like made a little bit of money, you know what I mean? So it's very risky when you whisper them early, because like if you whisper them a few seconds after, they might be like, oh my god, if they're getting spammed, it's like, oh, is it underpriced? You know, some people get spooked when you whisper them too early. So I like to give it like a minute, because if you wait too long, you run the risk of someone else whooping the same items as you. And so yeah, so you try to buy these for dirt cheap, and once again, the ones in my inventory were extremely cheap, right? This Carcass Jack is actually like is mine. I got this for 40C, and 40C for these rolls is just out of control, right? It's so crazy. And then Tinker Skins you can get for once again very, very cheap. Okay, for some reason the Tinker Skins, a lot of people are showing interest in Tinker Skins. Tinker Skins, out of all the chests today, have been shown the most interest. It's kind of weird, and mostly from Korean players. I don't exactly know why. It's just a little tidbit I thought I'd share. Okay, so what do we do from there? So once you have whooped your thing, and another thing you can kind of look at for this is you can look at the I guess like this is a little bit skewed. I wouldn't trust this too much, but it is good to give you a general idea if you're new about what might be important. You really want this to be green. Green is the best. It means like there's like a lot of data behind it and stuff like that. So you can see Carcass Jack is going up in value. So Carcass Jack is very good to 6-socket 6-link right now if you can whoop it on the cheap. Okay, so now with this knowledge, what do? We have to take a look at fusing prices and comparing it to the Chow's value and the Exalt value, because you want to buy the cheapest one. So I'm just gonna go here, and now let's say like okay, this is like a price fix, right? That's like weird right there, but you want to get the average, right? And so if you do this a lot, you'll kind of understand like where you can actually buy them at. So like let's say it's 82, right? So if I know I can get 82, and I know that I can get like, let's say 2.5, 2.2, then what you're going to want to do is see if you can get more fusings for Exalts or more fusings for Chow's Orbs, because sometimes the difference is notable, where the swing will be like 100 fusing overall one direction, and you want to buy the cheaper alternative. So if it's in, let's say you have 10 Exalts, right? And with 10 Exalts, if you bought Exalts worth of fusings, you could get like 1,800. But if you were to convert your 10 Exalts into let's say 820 Chow's Orbs, then maybe you can get like 2,000 or like 2,300 fusings. Right? These are just the random examples that were true like earlier. Right now, once again, the fusings is very volatile right now. It's kind of weird because it happened over like the last like 4 hours or something, right? So with that said, you're going to get the best fusing value, and then you need to keep in account the average. So lots of things in this game, we don't have the actual rate. Like you can't tell me you'll do X maps and on average get 1 divine, right? Do X maps, get 1 annul. We don't know those rates, but the rate that we do have from the developers is that the old Verici table, the 1,500 fusing cost was actually the cost of an unqualified 6-link to get it. On average, if you set 1,500 fusings, clicking it one by one, you would get a 6-link every 1,500 fusings. And then they made that change a long time ago where a quality stayed on the item, and the quality the quality actually improved the chance of it by 1%, and that is why when you have a 20% item, it is easier to link, socket, all that good stuff, right? And so a 6 link is now 1200 fusings on average, given that it's 20% quality. So with this in mind, and once again, this is confirmed by the developers, so now we know that the average, okay, to get a 6 link onto an item is 1200. So then we can divide, so 1200 divided by, let's say the fusing rate, I don't really know what it is right now because this is just a video for example, let's say it's 180. So 1200 divided by 180, that means that on average a 6 link in a fusing cost value is about 6.6 exalts, right? Now that's kind of scary because when you look here, some of these are less than 6.6 exalts, right? So you're like, wait, how can I make money if the average value to link something is more expensive than outright buying an average one of these items? And that's where these roles come in. That's where what I was talking about whooping these for dirt cheap comes in. Because for example, the Tinker skin, you know, if someone wants a perfect one and they're willing to pay another couple exalts, then you shifted that price downwards, right? Because if you can make an average of 2 exalts, sometimes 3 exalts for a perfect roll, because once again, people want to buy only once for a nice item, then your average cost goes down, right? So let's say I can make 2 exalts on a Tinkerskin perfect 6 link, then my cost will only be like 4.6 exalts, right? And once again, you can get very unlucky here, but if you have the base, in the long run, you're making that 2 exalt arbitrage, right? And for things like, sometimes for things like Shavs and Queen of the Forest, it can shift around, right? So you can see people whispering me for my flat items that aren't even 6 links, right? Because people know that the higher rolls are harder to come by, especially early on in the league. So that's what you do. You basically look at the difference. Anecdotally, you could also do something like this. So I'm going to show you these 2 items here. This one right here, hold on. This one right here is already 6 linked, right? And this one, I know I'm gonna make money on because this only took about like 600 fusings, right? So I made that like 600 fusing difference there. So plus the 2 exalt because it's a perfect roll. So I have the only 2 perfect in terms of the life roll and the recovery roll. I have the only 2 perfect Tinkerskins for now, so I add a premium to that, and I have the only 6 link one as well. So another thing you can do when you're doing this is if you have the only ones, right, you can actually, like, I can set a base price for this one and then set this one higher. Does that make sense? Because someone who searches for a perfect Tinkerskin in this example, and a lot of new players will blindly just search for the top rolls and see what's there, right? And there's also this thing with sorting. Oh my god, my left contact though. Oh my god. Hold on. Oh wow, my left contact is like moving around my eye. It really hurts. Hold on. Okay, fell out. Okay, we're good. Ow, that really hurt. Sorry about that, guys. Wow, that hurt. Ow, it feels like it was like cutting my eye. Okay, I'm doing this one contact, guys. Oh my god, so blurry. So what was I saying? Okay, so what you can do is if you own the market, essentially, I can set this one at a base price, meaning that my perfect one will be sellable for some premium, and people will see that it's 3.5 exalts, right? In this example, they'll be like, oh my god, a perfect one's a lot of value. And then if they're kind of smart, they'll like look at the 6 links in the market. One's like at 6.8 right now, and they'll like, should I buy the 6.8 exalt one that's like not very good rolls, or wait a minute, but the perfect one's like 3 exalts. So if I add 3 exalts to the cheapest 6 link, which makes it 9.8 exalts, oh man, that's like more expensive. So it makes comparatively your 6 link Tinkerskin look like a better deal in and of itself, when in reality both of them are good deals for that person. Right now, this isn't a scam, because if someone whispered me for this for 3.5 exalts, I'd obviously sell it. And then this one, you know, I have it listed for this for a reason, right? Because if someone wants to pay 8.8, I would obviously sell it, right? And this is just kind of like psychological. If you own the market, you can kind of do stuff like this. And there's a lot of PoE is kind of like that, right? It's just a feeling, a perceived feeling of value, right? Okay, now that that's out of the way, so you can apply this like to any other chest, right? So once again, the rules, if you're a noob, is you look for 90th percentile rolls, at least rolls that matter. There's some rolls on chests or other items that just do not matter, so the rolls that matter, you try to get very high rolls of those, whoop them, live search them on the official site, PoE Trade, PoE App, whatever you want, and then you snag them for a couple C, right? Some examples, they'll be like 40C, 50C, right? If you're lucky. And then you link them, and then you make your easy profits. Once again, it only works in the first like week, maybe 2 weeks of the league, because after that the fusings get so ridiculously cheap because people are like people like there's a lot of botters. Okay, a lot of botters bring the small orbs into the market, and so it floods the market, and then sixlings become like near worthless. For example, at the end of synthesis and league before that, like sixlings were maybe like 1 or 2 exalts value, right? If so, for example, you had Eternity Shroud and you had Eternity Shroud 6 linked, it was like 1 exalt difference, even though the fusing cost on average was maybe like 3 exalts, right? 4 exalts. So it's weird like that. You gotta get on it early, and so once you've done that and you've gone through the motions, and you have the base of currency, so you can weather some bad luck. On average, in my anecdotal evidence, you can see on stream as well. Like if you watched in the past, where I used to go to Lion Eyes Watch at the end of each stream and do some sixling projects. In the long run, you are going to be, making some bank. There's going to be times when you link it in 5 fusings. There's going to be times when it takes 20 plus exalts to link something. But on average, you will be going pretty ham, and you'll be making a consistent profit there, right? Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about helmet chance. So there was a nerf to dense fossils last league. I don't know if that matters to any of you guys, but just so you guys know, in case anyone missed out on the memo, dense fossils can't roll the subterranean anymore as a suffix, but life crafts are unchanged. And so the life craft with a pristine fossil, you obviously can get a flat life roll, 70, 80, 90, 9. I think tier 1 is like, is it 99 or something? If you get like a if you get like a eye level 70 something helmet, right, naturally, without the crafted on there. So okay, I digress. So with the helmets, another way you can make a little bit of money right now is I've been stocking up on these fossils here. So metallic, jagged, scorch, frigid, and then pristine, right? Pristine is for the life rolls on it, and the subterranean roll is 2 to 3% increased maximum life, right? That is very nice. And then these are basically for the element you want. Jagged is for physical, and physical is very strong this league, so that's why I've added this in there. In previous leagues I wouldn't have used this. These fossils allow you to get a roll that's nearby enemies have negative 9% to a certain resist, right? And then the jagged one gives you physical resist, right? So it's very strong. So, and that is a suffix. Okay, and of course it can add things like resist to a helm, which is very nice. So what you're gonna do is, as the league will even out a ton of these, right? As people upgrade their cart, more soul capacity. When you're delving for like 60k and you're breaking down walls, so many of these common fossils will enter the market where they will become half a C. Like sometimes you could, like last league or in Delve, for example, like you could have bought like sometimes 4 of the elemental fossils for 1C sometimes, right? If you could find someone that had bulk. And so with these rates, you can think of these fossils as kind of free. Now, right now the jagged is about 1C each, and these I can get for about half a C each if I'm just sitting around like trading and being smart about it. And then the pristines are currently, I think, 1C each, right? So each roll you do with a Rosonder, so I'm gonna take this Rosonder for example, because you only need a 2-cycle Rosonder, right? Right now it's about 1C, but later on, these things like once again, the market's gonna be flooded with these things, right? As like there's a lot of botters. Once again, as the botters kick in, as people upgrade their cart, these things are gonna be dirt cheap. These will be maybe half a C, right? Maybe even the yellow ones, which are basically a Chow's Orb. Those are probably gonna be like 1C, maybe half a C sometimes. I don't really know this league because like it's weird because so many people are playing, which can be good and bad at the same time, right? Depending on what information enters the market. So the Rosonders, what you're going to do is, because it has 2 sockets, and the way you're going to do it is, I'm just going to take this one for example. This is a helmet, and the thing that you do with these helmets is the same thing you do with the chest, right? People keep whispering for my for my chest. So the helmets, I'm going to take a popular skill, Cyclone, right? Popular skill, Tectonic Slam. What's another popular skill? Maybe, I don't know, Frost Blades, Leap Slam, because that's a movement skill that can be universal and a lot cheaper on the helmet enchant, because Cyclone's kind of expensive right now. So you're going to whoop these enchants the exact same way you do the chest, right? And all you really care about is maybe, if you're going to do this as a starting base, you care about like 70 something eye level, whatever, like getting a life roll of maybe like getting like 90 plus or whatever that you can get, because I don't think you get like 100 plus without essences, right? Like 109 or whatever. But I don't know. You can look at PvDB. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to look at that when I start crafting. And so you're going to find an eye level that's suitable to what you're looking for. The fossils are not bound by eye level, meaning that if let's say that I have like an eye level 80 helm, right? Which is very cheap. It will not prevent me from getting like a 70 helm and an 80 helm, or a level 100 helm, eye level 100 helm will not prevent me from getting the subterranean roll or a life roll with this pristine, right? So the fossils basically near guarantee you the roll. It won't prevent me from getting a -9 roll either for the minus resist for nearby enemies. So what you're gonna do is you only whoop the enchant. This, like some of these you can get for like 10C, right? And people are really looking for these helmet enchants because they add a lot of power. Now 40% cyclone damage kind of sucks. Even 50% attack speed, it's like it's whatever. There's better enchants out there, but once again you're whooping, so they're essentially free helmets if it's only 5 or 10C, and you know for a fact that people will buy these. Okay. So the reason I chose the helmets is because the rolls that we're looking for is any decent life value. Like for me, that's like 80 plus, and then a subterranean roll, which is common on the pristine, 2 to 3%, right? You can divide it later if it's 2, so don't worry too much about that. And then -9 of the element that you've chosen. So frigid is -9 cold, scorch is -9 fire, jagged is -9 physical, and then metallic is -9 lightning. Depending on your skill and what most of your damage is going to be, you're going to want to roll that accordingly, or what you think people are going to want in the future, right? That's why I'm kind of banking all these fossils. And so what you're going to do is you are going to take the pristine is necessary. Okay, you have to have the pristine in here, and it doesn't matter the base type, because right now people only care about the enchant. They're not really worried about like, I want to get something with like armor and like, easy red sockets, right? They don't care about that. They just want enchant with the base affixes, because that won't matter across the builds this early on. So the pristine is unchangeable, right? The second one can be whatever you want. For example, I'm gonna take these fossils were so cheap. I can use my streamer advantage to buy these two. XD. So like it doesn't matter for me, just to show you an example, right? You put them in the fossil, and the reason this is so good is because in my anecdotal evidence, once again, but I have like a lot of stream hours backing this up where I craft these live on stream. I would say between 10 and 20 Resanders can get you a massive life roll, the subterranean roll for increased percentage max life, -9 and 1 resist. That will sell, right? And then if you add things like hollow fossils, if they're cheap enough, and you get lucky with a hollow fossil, it can add multiple exalts value to an item, right? Like, what I'm trying to say is that the crafting is a sure thing. If I use, let's say I'm on the unlucky end, I have to use 20 of these Resanders. The Resonder is 1C, the fossils inside are 1.5C. So each try is, let's say, 2.5C. 2.5C times 20 is 50C on average to get a sellable roll that will go for multiple exalts. Okay, so because an exalt right now is 80, about 80 something C, but it'll go to way more than 100. You basically are spending half an exalt to 1 exalt, maybe a couple exalts if you're unlucky. Maybe if the variance is higher if you're using hollow fossils and things like that, but on average you are making crazy amounts of money on the crafting. And crafting has kind of always been like this, right? Because crafting is not skill based at all. It's just, do you have the base of currency to weather the bad luck, and on average are you making a lot of money? And you are, right? So actually right now the helmets are way better than the 6-lings because of the fusing cost. So I'll just go ahead and show you, right? So I'm going to take this. Now this functions as alchemy orb, so I can't use this on my helmet because it won't work. See, because it's an alchemy, right? See, it doesn't work. So what you need to do is you actually need to scour this real quick. Okay, so you need to scour this real quick, and see these rolls don't really matter, right? And then here we go. Well, okay. First of all, you might want to quality this first. Okay, I'm sorry, I messed up. If it matters to you for the ES of the armor, you might want to use perfect fossils, which are maybe a C or 2 to get this like 30% quality first. I'm not going to do that because I'm lazy. This is just an example. But I'm just getting mine to 20%. And the reason you want to maybe get it to 30% is because if it's ES based, you will get that's effective health pool. And if you get a good roll, you can't really change the quality afterwards because these function as an alchemy or a Chalzorb, right? So you want to do that first. But once again, this is an example, and here we go. Okay, that was terrible. This was really bad. Okay, but I'm gonna show you what is actually good on here. So the suffixes, enemies take 9% increased physical damage. If you don't have any other rolls, this is 9% more damage if you don't have any other taken modifiers. The 1% life isn't bad. If I had gotten another suffix instead of that accuracy, the accuracy, actually this league, the accuracy isn't bad, okay? Because you can get to 100% accuracy. But let's say that was, I think I would much rather have a resist, like maybe a 30, 40, I use a physical there, but so I actually don't know if I could have easily gotten a resist, but with the elemental fossils, I could have, right? 40 resist would have been really nice, and the prefixes completely failed here, right? But the prefixes that I would have liked to see, right, would be a big life roll. Okay, big life roll would have been insane, and then obviously subterranean roll for 2 to 3% increased maximum life, right? So that was just an example of using one of those. You use it over and over until you get something sellable. And for example, if I had gotten like life, subterranean -9, and a resist, that would have been a few exalts, right? This early in the league, and then on average I'm guessing I would have only spent 50-60 C. Okay, that's basically what you can do with these. And this applies, like, I don't really know too much about crafting. I only know like the sure things that I have found in multiple leagues to be it has to be reliable, right? Because if it's not reliable and you're just like kind of guessing, sometimes that's fun for science, but early in the league you want something reliable. So this video has been like way too long. I hope that you get like the basics there. I have some staves here because I'm not gonna show the staves right now, but I'm looping some staves because like a lot of people are playing ED Contagion. There's all these there's like some nice things you do with staves nowadays, but I'll maybe make a new video about that. And because I think it's way easy right now to craft a stave, maybe if you can get the right whoop. That's better than Cane of Unraveling or 2 wands right now, but I'll make another video about that later. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to watch me, I'm live every day. Like I said, since Friday I've slept for 4.5 hours, and so I'm kind of tired, but I'm having way too much fun in the league, so I'm probably start my stream pretty soon here. You can watch me every day on twitch.tv/cutedog_, and you can see me there. Okay, I'm gonna do my outro now. Okay, bye everyone, thank you for watching. Bye, I hope this helps some of you guys. Bye.